Hello, this is Eric of Not Bios Tech and Reviews, and I'm here to talk about Dialogue Enhance 2. Of course, we're going to test noisy footage. We're going to test footage with hiss in it, which I'm going to purposely make my camera hiss by turning the DAX way up and the camera way down and see how that works for us. What if we turn our noise reduction up? Will it affect the audio quality? Will we know a difference? I don't know. That is something we are going to test out in this video, but now let's get started. The software I'm using for this review is DaVinci Resolve Studio 18. And in this version, or basically any software you're going to use, Dialogue Enhance should pretty much work all fairly similar. Or we can take that copy of our settings and apply it across all our files. But for now, let's get to how this works. Now I'm going to drag Dialogue Enhance 2 into my audio section. And it's simple as that. Now here's a quick rundown of what we can do. We can do noise reduction. We can set our reduction decibels. The higher you put it, the more it reduces noise. We have our dynamics control. And of course that will also stop yourself from clipping, where you can set your levels. Spectral correction is supposed to get rid of annoying sounds. And of course it gets rid of our bassy rumble that can happen. So it's like a low clip we have. But of course we can also do it manually tuned. And we have our loudness boost. For YouTube, the loudest you can go before you have problems is 14 LUFS. But of course, there's the possibility it could exceed that. So I'd recommend having a little lower than that. And here, our gain is how much volume boost is our gain. And LUFS is a standard that's audibly heard. So your LUFS will be more consistent with what you hear. We have automatic mode and we have our non-automatic mode. Now to start things out, I have some noisy footage here. Right now I'm going to start with Dialogue Enhance Noise Reduction off just to hear it. Let's flick off all these other ones so we can hear exactly what this sounds like. I'll keep the loudness boost on so we can get some good volume. And then I'm going to turn noise reduction off and on, and then I'll boost beyond 12 decibel reduction after and hear that difference. Thank you, Music Planet and Campbell River, for your assistance. So if you're looking for any musical instruments or tools for your audio, check out Music Planet in Campbell River on Vancouver Island. So as we heard, that was quite the reduction, but now let's boost this double and see if we can reduce that sound in the background even more. It did a pretty swell job at 12 decibels, but how about 24 decibels quieter? That should be technically much quieter. Thank you, Music Planet and Campbell River, for your assistance. So if you're looking for any musical instruments or tools for your audio, check out Music Planet in Campbell River on Vancouver Island. So I'm going to open up Dialogue Enhance, and this is kind of messed up. I can't see the full thing, so we've got a little bit of a glitch here. Loudness boost being flawed like this means I can't change my settings. One thing that's kind of cool is if I go across my footage, I can see what's selected and not selected on each file, on each audio section. So we can see right here. I don't know why it's not saving, so I click off there, and again it's gone again. So it looks like I have to go to here manually and select spectral correction on if I want to leave that enabled. So it's kind of being difficult that way. Let's see if I go back and forth, if it stays on this time. Yeah, there we go. And it opens per section of audio. So it's easier to make your audio into one bounced audio file. I'm going to go to noise reduction of 12 and keep it on there. And I'm going to turn on the spectral correction on and off. I'm going to try it all across the range here to see how it goes, to see if we can hear any difference. Thank you, Music Planet and Campbell River, for your assistance. So if you're looking for any musical instruments or tools for your audio, check out Music Planet in Campbell River on Vancouver Island. This is the Volt 276. What makes it very useful for vocals and instruments, it has a compressor. You can actually add software to get different effects through this device. And we also have XLR to 1/4 inch, which we modify to 1/8 inch if needed. Headphone jack right there, and the volume for that. And it also has not just USB power, but also has 5-volt DC power they can adapt to, as well as 2 outs and Looks like a line output as well that you can monitor with. Now it is time for me to test out making my audio hissy on purpose. So I'm going to either turn my camera volume level way up and keep my interface down, or turn my interface way up and my camera volume way down. Either way, I can get a lot of audio hiss doing this without using my audio interface as an interface directly to PC. What I've done now is purposely turned up my camera volume way the heck up. So I'll just speak quietly or else I'll clip this audio, and that won't give me a proper test to see how much noise there is in the silence. Now let's listen to the beautiful sound of hiss and see if we can get rid of this. So what setting worked to remove that audio hiss? Well, I guess we see right now. Having the noise reduction turned right up, it seems that the noise floor is kind of unnatural. We have sound of speaking and then kind of a very silent gap. So keeping it what its default is at about 12 is a safe place to be. Dynamics control, what this does is it reduces the peaks on our audio right here, so you can see it's nearly peaked out. And that's one thing that ends up clipping, especially after you render a video and you put on YouTube, because you can only hit such a high peak before it gets clipped off. And so this helps remove the peaks, but if you go too aggressive, you're going to actually ruin the dynamics of your audio. So you don't want it bouncing off the top too much, and you have to be mindful of that, and you may want to lower your volume depending. Loudness boost to get proper boost without clipping using dynamic control. So let's do a quick playback right now. And have my interface going to my camera, or turn my interface way up and my camera volume way down. Either way will create a lot of audio hiss if I crank things way up. So this test is going to be, is spectral correction or noise reduction going to correct that issue, or will it correct it at all? This is an important issue for a lot of people that may have cheaper microphones that have a lot of noise in the silence. Let's get testing and see what works, or if anything works at all. Where the volume was pushed down, we can see what I did with the dynamics control. So what it did is it simply lowered the volume of the audio. It's kind of a good thing in a sense because it didn't destroy the peaks. However, if you don't use this sparingly, it's going to lower the volume dramatically rather than give you the nice natural flow of sound. So make sure you use this so the line's up here more so, and you simply make it so your volume, your sound is not peaking right up, well, at least maintaining some decent volume. Now to use loudness boost on and off. Let's hear the difference as I'm speaking right now. I'll try to speak at the same consistent volume as I turn that loudness boost on and as I turn it off. How am I coming through? What do you think? And now one thing you'll want to note is that if you have your sound peak too much on the gain will give you louder volume. What's going to happen is you can get sound corruption. You want to be mindful with your LUFS. 14 is max, but you're going to be likely at least max through YouTube. But the problem is you might still get some sound corruption going through, going a little higher than that 14 LUFS. At least show the line, so I'll know at least to lower it, but will automatic do anything? In terms of loudness boosting, you'll want to do it manually, because if you need more volume, it's not going to really, at least not now with the current version. In terms of loudness boosting, you'll want to do it manually, because if you need more volume, it's not going to really, at least not now with the current version. In terms of loudness boosting, you'll want to do it manually, because if you need more volume, it's not going to really, at least not now with the current version. One thing that might not be obvious to a lot of viewers is you don't want to apply Dialogue Enhance to non-dialogue or sounds in the background you want to keep. Let me show you what happens if you apply it to instruments with no dialogue, which I've recorded myself. using my Zoom F3. Directly input into the Zoom F3. Directly input into the Zoom F3. And don't forget to subscribe to Not BIOS to help this channel grow. And if you're subscribed, thank you very much. You are awesome. The best thing to know is how to edit your audio properly and combine Dialogue Enhance with your ability to know how to edit audio. So if you want to learn how to edit audio properly and combine the tactics of both the software and your ability to edit properly, I recommend Curtis Judd Learn Light and Sound courses, and you'll probably be quite happy. And learning how to edit your audio makes you realize more what you're doing with these settings. If you don't know how to edit dialogue and volume boost and everything like that, it can be a lot more confusing. And what you're recording to makes the difference to how many lufts of sound you're going to have. Lufts is like what you hear audibly, because you can boost your decibels and the peaks look the same, but your actual heard volume to you sounds different. Spectral, in terms of that, it's going to be mostly where you have uncomfortable sounds in your microphone and how you speak. Of course, not all your video will be exactly the same. So if you have something recorded quietly versus something recorded loudly, we're going to have to kind of play with that track. Volumes, especially where there's small splices, can vary in volume wildly. But if you bounce your track into one track, not simulating it, but knowing how to do that, well, I think help you quite a bit. It's a bit of work when it comes to getting your audio perfect. Dialogue Enhance 2 is simply a way to make it work for you with better results than nothing at all. The noise reduction, again, is quite impressive, but don't use it with sounds you don't want to reduce, because it's made for dialogue, not for musical instruments or any other purpose normally. This is Eric of Not BIOS Tech and Reviews /studio. Thanks for watching and have yourselves a most wonderful day.